The Cabinet today agreed in principle that the Littoral Combat Ship LCS Project Forensic Audit report be made public, according to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar. However, he said it would be made after discussions with Senior Defence Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein and other stakeholders on the mechanism of disclosure, as there are sensitive issues which cannot be made public. In a media conference after the Merdeka Month celebration of the Legal Affairs Division in Putrajaya today, Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi said he is of the view that sensitive matters involving security should not be revealed.
Secara prinsip, Jemaah Menteri masih menekankan bahawa pendedahan itu akan bakal dibuat. Dan sebab saya berpendirian, benda-benda yang sensitif soalan security sepatutnya memang tidak boleh didedahkan di mana-mana demokrasi pun. Sama ada di Amerika, di England, bahkan di Perancis, dia tidak akan mendedahkan benda-benda yang highly sensitive material.
Earlier, the Cabinet had proposed that the LCS Project Forensic Audit report conducted in 2019 be declassified, but the process needs to get the advice and views of the Attorney General and the Auditor General. Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi also did not rule out the possibility that the government will establish a Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) to investigate the LCS issue. Several senators at Dewan Negara had urged the government to establish a RCI to investigate the LCS issue to examine all aspects so that no guilty party escapes prosecution. Meanwhile, in a statement released today, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi said this parliamentary session recorded a remarkable achievement when 25 bills were passed. He said the 25 bills passed were closely related to the country's stability, economy and people's welfare, as well as several other aspects, among them finance, agriculture, food industry, crime and the judiciary. The Dewan Rakyat session, which was held for 12 days from 18 July to 4th August, while Dewan Negara sat for 6 days from 8th to 16 August. Among the high-profile legislations was the Constitution Amendment No. 3 Bill to prohibit members of Parliament from switching party, which was passed with a two-thirds majority in both houses. Also passed were the National Forestry Amendment Bill 2022, Control of Padi and Rice Amendment Bill 2022, Anti-Sexual Harassment Bill 2021 and the Housewife's Social Security Bill 2022 involving the authorities of various ministries. Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi said 9 motions were also debated in Dewan Rakyat, while one was debated in the Senate, which is the Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012 SOSMA, which was tabled in a special sitting of Dewan Negara on 27 July. Internet access using satellite technology has reached the full target, where 839 locations have been installed with broadband wireless access (BWA), which instantly provided broadband coverage, especially in rural areas, including in Sabah and Sarawak, as well as orang asli villages. Minister of Communication and Multimedia Tan Sri Anwar Musa said there are still about 1,400 locations that needed BWA services.
Premises yang dilengkapi dengan rangkaian gentian optik telah pun meningkat, iaitu sebanyak 2.23 juta di seluruh negara dalam tempoh laporan, dan ini menjadikan jumlah keseluruhan terkini sebanyak 7.19 juta premises telah diliputi gentian optik, dan ini menghampiri sasaran fasa pertama jendela, iaitu 7.5 juta.
He said this to reporters after attending Malaysia's National Digital Network Jendela Steering Committee meeting today. Tan Sri Anwar said the Ministry of Communication and Multimedia would try to standardise and harmonise some rules that are mainly related to the standardisations of cost, charges and fees that currently differ between states. There's no strong evidence to link the death of a houseman attached to Hospital Pulau Pinang HPP with elements of bullying at the workplace, as revealed by the Healthcare Work Culture Improvement Task Force's HWCITF analysis. HWCITF Chairman Professor Dato Dr. Siti Hamisa Tapsir said the analysis was done on the Ministry of Health MOH Integrity Unit's detection and verification report relating to the incident. She said HWCITF maintains this view that as long as there's no additional information related to the death of the houseman received from the police following their investigations into the case.
Melalui sesi engagement dengan Hospital Pulau Pinang, dan ketika ini kami belum mendapat laporan tentang yang terkini dari PDRM, jadi dia masih dalam siasatan. Dan apa yang kami dapati daripada hasil yang pertama tadi adalah laporan yang telah dikeluarkan oleh unit integriti, yang mana mereka telah bekerjasama, tak silap saya, antara anggota unit integriti ada juga mereka di kalangan SPRM, right? Jadi siasatan telah dibuat mengikut SOP yang telah ditetapkan.
She said this during the media briefing on the Healthcare Work Culture Improvement Report 2022 in Putrajaya today. The HWCITF was set up on 13th May following the death of the houseman attached to HPP, in addition to reports and complaints received regarding bullying incidents and psychological stress faced not only by the houseman but also health service staff. On 17 April, a 25-year-old male houseman was found dead, believed to have fallen from his apartment building near HPP. A businesswoman was charged at the Raub Sessions Court today with 5 counts of money laundering amounting to 2.04 million ringgit. Norida Shakira Agus Yadi, 28, however, pleaded not guilty to all the charges which were read to her before Judge Ahmad Faid SAHIH. The accused allegedly committed the offence between 8 January 2021 and 20th June 2021 through her company DSS Berkat Enterprise at Maybank Islamic Berhad, Kuala Lipis branch near Raub. Norida Shakira was charged with committing the offence by buying a sushi restaurant worth 1.317 million ringgit and transferring money totaling 242,770 ringgit. 369,700 ringgit and 32,500 ringgit, and disposing of 80,000 ringgit believed to be proceeds from unlawful activities. At the proceedings, Deputy Public Prosecutor Rohaiza Zainal, who offered bail of 500,000 ringgit with 2 sureties for all charges, requested for the case to be transferred to the Shah Alam Sessions Court, where the accused was charged with committing a similar offence involving millions of ringgits on 24th February. The court then allowed the accused bail of 10,000 ringgit with 1 surety for all charges and ordered her to report to the nearest police station once a month. The court also allowed the case to be transferred to Shah Alam Sessions Court. An officer at the Klang Municipal Council MPK and her husband were charged at the Shah Alam Sessions Court today with 4 counts of abuse of power and abatement for valuation-related works amounting to over 570,000 ringgit between 2019 and 2020. Hasliza Mat Saleh and Shahril Nizam Mokhtar, both 48, pleaded not guilty to all the charges, which were read out separately before Judge Rozila Saleh. Hasliza was charged with 2 counts of using her position as Valuation and Property Management Director by proposing Nilai Harta Consultants Sdn Berhad, which her husband has an interest in, to carry out valuations work for special properties North Klang with a working price of 251,000 ringgit and part of the properties in Operation Area 2 involving a work price of 324,360 ringgit. The charge was framed under Section 23, Subsection 1 of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC, Act 2009, and punishable under Section 24, Subsection 1 of the same Act. Meanwhile, Shahril Nizam was charged with 2 counts of abetment under Section 28, Subsection 1, Subsection E of the MACC Act 2009 to be read together with Section 23, Subsection 1 of the same Act, which is also punishable under Section 24, Subsection 1 of the same Act. Rosila allowed bail at 30,000 ringgit each with a different surety and ordered both of the accused to surrender their passports to the court and report to the nearest MACC office every month. The court set 22nd September for remention. Still to come, Sime Darby records positive financial performance. Stay tuned. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, who's on a 7-day state visit to Turkey, visited the FNSS Defence Systems, AS, a leading defence industry player in Turkey. The king was received by Turkey's Defence Minister Hulusi Akar and FNSS Chief Executive Gurul Kamkli. Sultan Abdullah, who witnessed a demonstration by the FNSS defence system, was later briefed on the technological defence system developed by the FNSS. FNSS has partnered with Malaysian-owned DRB Highcom Defence Technologies, DEFTEC, to develop ACV-300 Adnan armoured vehicles in Pekan Pahang. FNSS is a globally recognised land systems company that specialises in designing and producing wheeled and track armour combat vehicles, as well as combat engineering vehicles, turrets and sustainability solutions. The armoured combat vehicle, which was named Adnan in honour of a soldier, Lieutenant Adnan Saidi, who was involved in a war with Singapore during World War II, has been used by the Royal Malaysian Army for almost 20 years. Malaysia had ordered and received 267 units of ACV-300. Sime Darby Berhad is expecting more headwinds in the financial year ending 30th June 2023 amid high inflation and increased borrowing costs impacting consumers' sentiment, according to Group Chief Executive Officer CEO Datuk Jeffrey Salim Davidson. He pointed out that headwinds in the supply chain had not been fully resolved and lockdowns in China due to the emergence of COVID-19 had also impacted the group's business. Announcing Sime Darby's performance for the financial year ended 30th June 2022 today, he remained fairly confident that the group has a broad-based business in the Asia-Pacific, having a strong team managing the business. Sime Darby registered a lower net profit of 1.10 billion ringgit for FY 2022 versus 1.43 billion ringgit a year earlier. This includes a one-off gain of 272 million ringgit on the divestment of the group's stake in Tesco Malaysia. Excluding the gain, the group's net profit declined marginally by 4.3% due to lower profits from its industrial and motor business in China.
The lockdowns affecting our business in the first couple of months during the financial year. In China, there's been a continued slowdown in construction activity.
Revenue, meanwhile, was lower at 42.50 billion ringgit for the year compared with 44.30 billion ringgit in FY 2021. On potential merger and acquisition, Datuk Jeffrey said the group was evaluating opportunities to grow its motor business in China and other countries. About 30,000 hearty cheers for Merdeka echoed across 763 T-Life stores throughout Malaysia, including 3 loud ones from Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Deputy Minister Datuk Rosa Wahid during the Kopi Merdeka program, organised by T-Life at the Pavilion Kuala Lumpur today. Through the Kopi Merdeka program, customers who proclaimed Merdeka 3 times at its stores nationwide were given free cups of coffee limited to the first 10,000 customers. Datuk Rosol, who officiated the event today, said T-Life's Kopi Merdeka program was a good initiative to boost the spirit of the upcoming National Day celebrations.
Hari ini, rakyat Malaysia akan melaungkan sebanyak 30,000 kali. 30,000 kali Perkataan Merdeka untuk nak dapatkan 10,000 cups kopi Tea Life secara percuma. Jadi ini suatu sumbangan yang cukup berharga untuk merasakan ataupun untuk melahirkan rasa kecintaan, rasa patriotik dan rasa sayang pada negara.
He said this during a press conference after officiating the event by proclaiming Merdeka 3 times. Meanwhile, Tea Life parent company, Loeb Holdings Sdn Bhd founder and Chief Executive Officer Brian Liu said, besides the free coffee redemption program today, Tea Life is also offering a 31% rebate for their signature coffee until 31st August. Multiple blasts hit restive Thai South, that and more coming up in the foreign segment. Arson attacks and explosions hit more than a dozen locations in Thailand's restive Deep South today, injuring 7 people. Officials said most of the targeted sites were convenience stores in petrol stations, all located in the provinces of Pattani, Yala and Narathiwat. A low-level conflict has rumbled in Thailand's southernmost provinces since 2004, killing more than 7,000 people as militants in the Muslim-majority region battle for greater autonomy from the state. 7 people were slightly injured in the incidents, a statement from the military said, while police said they were gathering CCTV footage and other evidence. Authorities said the immediate motive for the wave of attacks was still unclear. Militants usually target symbols of the Thai state and its security forces. The coronavirus pandemic brought a lull in southern clashes between rebels and the military, but a 6-day gun battle in October last year killed 6 people. The southern region, heavily policed by Thai security forces, is culturally distinct from Buddhist-majority Thailand, which colonized the area bordering Malaysia over a century ago. According to local think tank Deep South Watch, since the insurgency reignited in January 2004, more than 7,000 people have been killed and 13,500 others injured in Thailand's far south. Australia's former Prime Minister today defended secret arrangement he made to swear himself in to key portfolios including health and treasury, saying he would only have used the roles in an emergency during the COVID-19 pandemic. Revelations about Scott Morrison's covert actions, labelled by his successor as the creation of a shadow government, have sparked a political firestorm in Australia this week.
They were put in there as a safeguard, as a break glass in case of emergency. And as a result, thankfully, we didn't need to break the glass. And as a result, I didn't need to trouble any of those ministers. Again, I think there are very good reasons for what I did. And I think the way that I would do them at another time, well, I think that would be informed by my experience.
During his time in power, Morrison was routinely criticised for a lack of transparency and indictment that burst onto the global stage when French President Emmanuel Macron accused him of lying over an abandoned submarine deal. As yet, it is not clear whether Morrison will face any political or legal fallout from the scandal. Australia's new Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, has asked the Solicitor General to advise on whether his predecessor acted legally.
I'm only aware of one colleague.
Rick Labrode has worked at NASA for 37 years, but he says the American quest to return to the moon is by far the crowning moment of his career. Labrode is the lead flight director for Artemis 1, set to take off later this month, the first time a capsule that can carry humans will be sent to the moon since last Apollo mission in 1972.
To me, after almost 20 years of work, we're going to see this thing crawl out of the building and then go fly to the moon. I'm so excited about having the technology again to have people sent to the moon. It's exciting for me personally, and then of course for our nation, for the agency, for all of our international collaborators, and for the whole world.
Artemis 1, an uncrewed test flight, will feature the first blast-off of the massive Space Launch System (SLS) rocket, which will be the most powerful in the world when it goes into operation. It will propel the Orion crew capsule into orbit around the moon. The spacecraft will remain in space for 42 days before returning to Earth. From 2024, astronauts will travel abroad Orion for the same trip, and the following year at the earliest, Americans will once again step foot on the moon. For the duration of Artemis 1, a team of about a dozen NASA personnel will remain in mission control 24 hours a day. Coming up in sports, KBS to turn Malaysia into esports hub. Stay with us. Youth and Sports Ministry KBS will continue to develop the necessary esports infrastructure to make Malaysia the hub for video game-based sports activities. Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Datuk Seri T. Lian Ke said this was already in the Esports Strategic Development Plan 2020-2025, in addition to hosting of activities and competitions. He said e-sport was a growing industry and capable of having a big economy impact, with a total of 435 million global spectators. Speaking to reporters after the launch of ESL 1 2022 Championship Media Conference, he said e-sport is also a multi-million-dollar business, with the industry set to generate $1.6 billion for this year alone. Elaborating, Datuk Seri T said Malaysia's capability in hosting the ESL 1 Championship, which will see 12 of the world's best team taking part, spoke volumes of the country's potential to continue to be selected to host international-class esports competitions in the future. Meanwhile, the Deputy Minister said KBS will empower women's involvement in the esports sector, especially after the success of the national esport contingent grabbing the gold medal in the Commonwealth Games recently.
Memang kita mengakui bahawa dari segi sambutan ataupun pelapis pemain-pemain e-sport wanita ketandusan. Tetapi memanglah menjadi salah satu daripada agenda dan matlamat kita, objektif kita untuk menggalakkan lebih ramai lagi wanita menjadi pelapis-pelapis. Memang akan menyediakan platform-platform kemudahan, galakan dan juga advokasi untuk memastikan, untuk menarik pemain-pemain e-sport di kalangan jantina wanita.
Malaysian junior kegglers Anis Hanani Romzi and Adania Muhammad Rizwan blazed the lines in Thailand to capture a silver medal at the 21st Asian Junior Bowling Championships in Bangkok, Thailand. In the championship held at the Blue O Rhythm and Bowl Major Racha Yotin, Anis Hanani and Adania were involved in a tightly contested battle with Singapore's Sherlyn Wong Shu Lin and Lim She En in the women's pairs event. The Malaysian duo knocked down 424 pins for the silver, while the Singaporeans took home the gold with 2,466 pinfalls. Taiwan's Huang Xin-sen and Tsai Tzu-han finished with a 2,343 total to take home the bronze. In the men's pairs, Ariel Amri Suhaimi and Shakim Izwante Shahrul Hafizde had to be satisfied with a bronze medal after finishing with 2,559 pinfalls, while the gold medal went to Taiwan pair Lan Xiaokang and Cheng Xiaohua, who knocked down 2,748 pins. Singaporeans Matthew Lewis and Ryan Gui Chi Hyun had 2,708 pinfalls to take the silver. Young national sprinter Muhammad Azim Muhammad Fahmi has so far received more than 10 offers to further his studies in universities in the United States. The 18-year-old para-athlete said he received the offers after competing in the Under-20 World Athletic Championships in Cali, Colombia recently. He said that among the offers were from the University of Georgia, University of Florida, Louisiana State University, Texas A&M University, University of Houston and Auburn University.
So far tak ada deadline sebab kita pun memang tengah arrange dengan mana-mana pun yang nak masuk offer, yang nak bagi tawaran ke apa, Jo kita sekarang cuma mendengar dan juga menerima mana-mana je pun tawaran yang ada. At the end kita akan buat pilihan yang terbaik lah. Cuma sekarang kita cuma mengejar masa lah kalau boleh untuk ke USA. Tapi sebenarnya tak ada apa yang rushing pun, sebab kita sebenarnya nak pergi sana dengan keadaan yang lancar, tenang, tak ada apa-apa benda yang merumitkan ke apa. Jadi memang tak ada apa-apa deadline.
He told reporters this after receiving the Perak Academic and Sports Excellence Incentive worth RM1,600 from Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Sakrani Muhammad at the Perak Dar Rizwan Building Multipurpose Hall. Muhammad Azim had previously set a new national 100-metre record of 10.09 seconds in the heats in Cali, erasing the old mark of 10.18 seconds set by former Southeast Asia sprint champion Hairul Hafiz Jantan. Elon Musk, the world's richest person, tweeted today that he was joking when he said that he was going to buy English football club Manchester United PLC. He said this when asked whether he was serious about buying the club, saying it was a long-running joke on Twitter. The tweet turnaround comes as Musk seeks to exit a $44 billion agreement to buy Twitter only 4 months after announcing on the platform he would buy the social media company, which has taken him to court. Musk has a history of being unconventional and posting irrelevant tweets, making it difficult sometimes to tell when he's joking. Manchester United is one of the most famous names in the world soccer, but is currently in crisis on the field amid angry calls from fans for the club's current owners, the American Glazer family, to pull out. The Northern England-based team has more than 32 million followers on its main Twitter account, and Musk's first tweet about the club had garnered nearly 400,000 likes on the platform within 4 hours. A board member for the Tokyo Olympics was arrested today on suspicion of taking bribes, prosecutors said, along with 3 other men connected to the scandal. Haruyuki Takahashi allegedly received $380,000 from high street business suit retailer Aoki Holdings, an official partner of last year's pandemic-delayed 2020 Games. The 78-year-old was arrested along with Aoki chairman Hironori Aoki, 83, and 2 other executives from the retailer, according to Tokyo Prosecutor's Office documents. They accused Takahashi of accepting bribes with the understanding they were meant as thank you money for the beneficial and preferential treatment he bestowed on Aoki. All right, so that's it from us this evening. Wrapping up news at 10 with a reminder of our top story tonight. LCS Project Forensic Audit Report be made public. Join us for more updates at 12:30 tomorrow. Till then, I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Stay tuned to Berita RTM.